Hey everybody, what's happening? It's been raining here for over a week now in Southern California. Pretty cool, yeah. We had one day where the sun came out, and that's actually the day I did the exhaust. I put the Bossini exhaust on my night train. I did everything that day and went and did the test ride and everything. It was a blast, that's for sure. But anyway, I thought, we could talk about the motorcycle accident that I had last year. I'd mentioned it in the past, and I guess today feels like the perfect opportunity to talk about it. So hopefully you'll stick around and listen. I know talking head videos kind of suck, but hopefully I can make this interesting for you. So I get ready, I left, I had a suit on. So I had slacks on, I had a jacket, but I was wearing my leathers and my gloves. And that morning, for some reason, I wanted to wear a half helmet because it's just more convenient. Just throw the half helmet on and go. But I thought, nah, I'll wear the full face because I'm going on the freeway. And so I did, I put the full face on. So I'm cruising down the 101 and I'm splitting lanes. I don't really split that fast. And so this morning, well, let me back up a little bit. The 10 and the 101, especially around the valley, San Fernando Valley, North Hollywood, the lanes are really close. And so I'm going down the 101 and I'm splitting and traffic gets really congested. The 101 splits into the 405. There's like a fork and traffic gets really congested there. So I'm just cruising. It's kind of a tight ride. I'm trying to like zigzag while I'm splitting lanes so I'm not like in between two cars perfectly. I'm cruising, I'm splitting lanes and everything's cool and no big deal. And then all of a sudden I feel my left hand, my left grip hit the side of something. It was an SUV. And I remember I thought, well, okay, so I just hit that, I just grazed it, no big deal. But then I felt myself, I guess the handlebars turned to the left, and then I felt like my right shoulder kind of going towards the SUV and down. And I remember thinking to myself, all right, man, this is happening. We're having an accident. And I don't remember anything too much after that, like no pain or anything, but I do remember hearing myself hit the freeway, and I was like making like and it felt like a car ran over my legs. I guess maybe the bike fell on my legs or something, or I'm not sure, but it felt pretty violent. And so after everything calmed down, like after all the falling and all the stuff stopped happening, it got really calm. And I'm laying there and I'm looking at the asphalt and I'm thinking to myself, okay, you just had an accident. Do you feel anything warm and wet? Like I was trying to see if I was bleeding anywhere. And I'm like, okay, looking around in my helmet, okay, that looks good. And I remember saying to myself, okay, if you can stand up and walk over to the divider wall in the freeway, like the two lanes, this lane goes this way, this lane's coming this way, and there's a wall in the middle, like a divider wall. I'm like, if you can stand up and walk over there, that means nothing's broken and you're okay. So I stood up and nothing really hurt really bad. Of course you got your adrenaline's pumping too. You're like on 1,000. And so I'm like, okay, cool, nothing's broken. It doesn't look like I'm bleeding anywhere. And I had a backpack on too. And so I went over and there was a police cruiser, fortunately, like just a couple cars behind me. And they immediately stopped traffic. Now mind you, this is rush hour traffic on the 101 freeway. And so anyway, the police cruiser stopped the traffic. And I walked over and I sat down against the wall, the retaining wall. I don't know what they call it. I took my backpack off. And I remember sitting there and I remember thinking to myself, okay, you just got into an accident. You're going to go to the emergency room. You're going to go to urgent care for sure. Nobody's going to let you leave without going to urgent care. So they called the ambulance. And I'm sitting there against the wall, and I remember thinking to myself, okay, you're going to urgent care. You're going to have to wait for a doctor to see you. You're probably going to be there 5 or 6 hours, so you better eat something, right? This is like what I'm thinking. First thing I thought was, is my bike okay? And then I thought, okay, you're going to be there for 5 or 6 hours. You better eat something. So I took my backpack off, and I had made a turkey wrap for, because I knew I was going to be down at the office for a while. And so I'm sitting against the wall, traffic stopped, and I take this turkey wrap out of the sandwich bag, and the officer had his window rolled down. He goes, hey, we were watching. It looked like it was kind of tight there, And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, are you okay? And I said, yeah, I'm just having a turkey wrap, relaxing. And I mean, imagine, you're in rush hour traffic. A police cruiser stops everything. It's not bad enough you're in traffic. Now you got to sit here and wait for something. And then there's this guy sitting on the side of the freeway eating a turkey wrap. I bet people were pissed, man. But anyway, I had that. There was a nurse practitioner who was in front of me that stopped, and she was actually filming. She let me use her phone to call my wife because my phone went flying. I had it on a holder on my handlebars, and when I hit the ground, it went flying. I wasn't even thinking about it. And so she let me use her phone to call my wife and tell her I was okay and where I was going and stuff like that. And so, she's filming me. I don't know who she was, but she's filming me. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to get up and walk over to my bike and, see if I can pick it up or get it off the freeway or whatever. And I walked over there and, it was laying on its side. It broke my heart. And so I started to walk back to sit down against the wall, and I made it over to the wall, but I guess I passed out when I was sitting there from the shock. And then I remember coming to, and she said, are you okay? Are you okay? This is a nurse practitioner. She's like, you turned like really pale, kind of yellowish almost. And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm fine. And then the ambulance showed up. Wasn't that long. And they put me on the gurney and they put me in the back. And the guy asked me, he's like, hey buddy, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm all right. What's your name? I told my name. He goes, what year is it? And I said, 2025. It was the end of 2024. And he's like, 2025? I'm like, yeah, close enough. And he laughed. And then fortunately, the officer that was in the cruiser, I guess, they went and looked at the accident. He got my phone and brought it to me and gave it to me in the back of the ambulance. So they took me to the emergency room, urgent care, whatever you call it. And of course, I'm laying there, and a nurse comes in and she's going over my injuries or whatever. And I didn't realize it, but the slacks that I had on, they were completely shredded. Like I didn't feel anything, again, because I guess the adrenaline is pumping. You're kind of invincible in that moment, it feels like. And so, but I do remember looking at my pants, and from my shin all the way up to my hip, they were just shredded. So I guess I hit pretty hard and probably slid for a good ways. My leather jacket had a little bit of damage, not a lot. They're pretty resilient. I mean, that's what they're made for. I had some decent riding gloves on, some Harley gloves, and I had dress shoes on, but they didn't get messed up too bad. So anyway, the nurse comes in and she's looking over my injury and asking me questions, and man, I didn't realize, so now the adrenaline's starting to wear off. And I didn't realize it, but I guess I hurt my back from hitting so hard. like my back was already stiff, right? But from hitting so hard, if I moved on the table, like tried to readjust where I was, my back muscles would just like seize up, like really tight, and it almost took my breath away. And so I couldn't really move. And she gave me some, she goes, "I'm gonna give you some fentanyl." I'm like, "Fentanyl? What are you talking about?" She's like, "No, this is the hospital grade stuff." And I'm like, "I don't know, fentanyl's fentanyl, isn't it?" But anyway, she gave me some and it took the pain away for the most part, but still, man, my back would seize. Like it was incredible. But I also have a short clip of a video that I found. It's just a couple seconds long, of a person that crashed the exact same way that I did. So you'll see, and going about the same speed. So you'll see how violent the accident really was. You know, it was devastating. You know, thinking back on it, it traumatized me for a while. Like even now when I split lanes, it's, you know, I don't take as many chances as I used to, I'll put it that way. You can see here, he's not really going that fast, about the same speed I was going. But if you lose focus when you're splitting lanes, bam. But yeah, man, it was bad. And at the time I was 65 years old, and it's like, you know, Christ, to be able to stand up and walk away from something like that. Thank God I'm in good shape, right? So anyway, the doctor comes in and they x-ray my hand. And I said, I think my hand's broken. I never had a broken bone before, but this feels like something's broken. And he comes back with the x-rays and he goes, "No, nothing's broken. So we're gonna send you home." Like, what? So I'm good, but it was a nasty, nasty accident. If anybody, you know, if you guys have been in a similar accident, or, you know, you have a story about something that happened to you, you dropped your bike or anything like that, put it down in the comments. I like reading the comments, and I reply to every single one of them. And, you know, I want to hear your story as well. So, yeah, I mean, that's it. That's the accident. And it happened. I get to check that off the list. And yeah, that's it. So anyway, again, if you guys like the videos, subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. And when I post videos, you'll get a notification, you know, the little bell icon. And you know, like the videos. I mean, do all that cool stuff. And if you have a channel, a motorcycle channel, or a channel, you know, like about anything, I don't care, if you subscribe and you like the videos, I will definitely subscribe to your channel and return the favor. Hopefully you found this entertaining at the least. I enjoy making them. So until I can get back out and do some more work on the bike, this is it. So I'll catch up with you guys next time. Have a good one.